So one of the strategies for buying bargains is to look for local listings. And local listings are very often typified by its collection only. You have to go and pick it up, which means you really have to be local. As an example, I saw this yesterday. This is a Nintendo NES. It's got 13 games. It's currently listed at £5.50. It's got 3 days left. And if you see down here, it is free collection in person only. So it's cash on collection and collection in person only. So you really need to be near Poole to buy this. Had this person put postage on, even, I don't know, £7 to £10 postage, this would have more bids than this. This is not going to sell for a lot unless there's a few people in Poole that really want this. Because sellers are limiting the market. Sellers are limiting the number of people that can possibly bid for it. So if you're fortunate enough to be nearby, you can get a bargain. And just to quickly illustrate this, I've done a eBay search for an NES console. I've excluded the latest mini thing to see what is available on here, particularly with 3 days to go. So we can see one here that is going to finish in 3 hours. It's currently bidding more, but it's the console and one game. The rest then, let's go down to about 3 days. So here's the one we're looking at. 3 days left, it's at £5.50. Here's one that doesn't have as many games, not even close. It's currently going for more and it has postage. That's got 2 days left. Here's one, 3 days left, it's going for more. Admittedly, this one is boxed, but more people can buy this. This has got postage, more people are bidding on it, it's got longer to run. People are bidding on this, it's got longer to run, it's much higher amounts. Now, admittedly, these are boxed, which means it costs more, but the fact is, if you limit the market, then your auction doesn't go for as much, which is good for us as buyers. So we want to be able to find things like this close to us. In the past, I bought my Xbox Original as pickup only. So I got a bundle of games, the console, a couple of controllers for about £15, I think, because it was pickup only. I got a big keyboard stand for the keyboard it was an embarrassingly cheap price. I felt embarrassed handing the guy a £5 at the door, but it was pickup only. And these things are quite expensive. So we have to learn how to do this. I'm going to take a postcode as an example. I've just done a random search for a BBC postcode in Radio Gloucestershire. Let's use that. So I'm going to look for an acoustic guitar. There's a lot of acoustic guitar results, but what you can see I've done is I have limited the search to 50 miles of that particular postcode. Generally, if I'm doing pickup only, 50 miles is a bit much, so let's try 2 miles. That will give us a really focused selection. Because the reason I pick guitars is that guitars are quite big, people don't like posting them, they can get damaged in the post, so a lot of them are collection only. So you can get a bargain by narrowing it in. So here is one acoustic guitar, £18.50. It's collection only with no bids. Here is one, a similar distance. It's £30, buy it now. This is a much cheaper guitar, but it's got postage, so it's going to go for more. Here's one. The reason this one doesn't have much on it, I think, is because it's such a high price, because it's such a good guitar, but it's collection only. If you see things that you really want, it's collection only, but it's too high at the moment, stick it in your watch list. If the auction finishes without it being sold, the seller might relist it, in which case eBay might tell you you've got another chance at what you wanted, the seller has relisted this. But we have to hone in on the postcode. This is the easiest way of doing this within eBay itself, using their built-in functionality. Let's have a look at a quick site that can help us with this. So this is localbargainfinder.com. If I put in the postcode that we're looking at, put in 2 miles. So this is just doing pretty much any local bargain. What we're going to use this for is to help us start building a search, because what this does, I'll show you this, is it helps you create the search terms for trying to identify things that are not going to sell particularly well. So let's have a quick look. So this is going to build a search in eBay for that postcode. Let's look, there's the postcode. Put it in the category antiques. So I'm going to change the category to all categories, but you can see what it's done here is it's built a search for using the kind of advanced search terms we know for specific terms, so cash on collection, buyer to collect, buyer must collect, etc. And you could look through this and add your own terms in there. So I'm going to put in acoustic guitar for cash on collection, buyer to collect within the 2 miles. Let's see what happens. So that's refined it even further, right? Because now it's within 2 miles, but it's only picking up things that are collection only. So what's key to the local bargain finding are all these terms. That's why you would use something like localbargainfinder.com just to give you that. Now, if you copy and paste this, put it in a text editor, then if you want to, you can add your own terms in there, copy and paste them in the search, and you might find, it's just a way of narrowing down the postcode search that we did originally to things which are only collection only, because it's doing an include description for these terms. Now, if I look through the filters we've got on here, we can see that we've got some filters in here. What the local search has done is it said, I don't want any business sellers. Sometimes you might want business sellers. There might be a charity selling it. There might be a pawn shop or something. So if I apply that, we've got 4, so no difference. We've still got this collect in person. So if I get rid of this collect in person, so you can see now I've got acoustic guitar, lots of results. If I reinstate that set of search terms from Local Bargain Finder, so we now have 1,106. Let me filter that to within 2 miles. So there we go, we've got back to the 3 results. If I have a look at the filter, so we no longer have that collect in person filter because sometimes people don't add that. I'm not even sure how to add that in a normal filtering situation, but the Local Bargain Finder has managed to do it. What we want to do is take advantage of things that are not listed like that, but things that are local, but things we can only find using those search terms. Now, if you use that as a strategy when you're looking for stuff, then finding local bargains can massively boost your ability to find stuff that you want for cheap.